Hi, and thanks for joining me. In this screencast, we're going to take a quick look at how to use Roastmaster's Build Roast by Yield feature to create a series of roasts quickly and based on a desired yield weight. So we'll navigate to the roast list. Now, typically you would create a roast by tapping the Add button at the bottom, then tapping Add Item, and Roastmaster will give you a new roasted item where you can select a bean or a blend, and then enter the weight and other details like moisture or density, or even choose the bean lot you're pulling from. From there, you can choose your profile, or if you don't work with profiles, you can go down to data curves and add a new data curve to record data to during the roast. Okay, so that works great, but it becomes a little labor intensive when you're dealing with multiple roasts per day. Now, Roastmaster does also give you a means to copy a roast by long tapping on it, choosing Make Copy, and you'll be left with a roast that is new, but with the same variables as the source roast. So that helps, but it's still a manual process. And in addition, in a specialty roasting environment, you typically have a set weight of beans that you're trying to fill, and that's a roasted weight. So you're left to perform all of the green to roasted weight calculations yourself and then build these roasts yourself. But with the new Build Roast by Yield feature, Roastmaster can do all of this for you in one fell swoop. And the best part is that it uses the data from your own database on a per bean level to arrive at the roasted weight based on the green weight that you're putting into the roaster. So let's see how this works. Here in the roast list, we go down to the toolbar and tap the Actions button and choose Build Roast by Yield. And we'll tap Choose an Item. Now we can choose here either a bean or a blend. For this example, we're going to start with a bean. Choose our Ethiopian and enter a yield weight. Now this yield weight is a roasted weight. So what we're telling Roastmaster, or what we're asking it to tell us, is the number of roasts based on a batch size that we need to perform to arrive at this yield weight. So we're going to use 10 pounds, and in this example our batch size is 2 pounds. So Roastmaster has determined that we're going to need 6 roasts to arrive at that roasted yield weight of 10 pounds. And the green weight here, we're actually putting in 12 pounds, and the roasted weight, we're going to get out 10.32 pounds and have a surplus of around 5 ounces. Now, I want to talk for a second about where Roastmaster gets the data to perform these calculations. If we look at our Ethiopian, we can see that at the last roast, we had an input weight of 2.046. Now, that's a green weight, and we logged, when the roast was over, a roasted weight of 1.759 pounds. That is a 14.03% loss. So Roastmaster has looked back through our roast, found this particular bean, and saw that it had pre and post roast weight information and used that loss to calculate our net outcome in roasted weight for this particular bean here. So before we actually build these roasts, let's tell Roastmaster a couple of other details about how we want these roasts configured. First off, we'll choose our roaster. In this case, we're using our Probatino, and we want to choose the profile that we want to roast these with. And we're going to choose Pyrolysis Target 3. Now at this point, if we were to tap Build Roast, Roastmaster would go ahead and make these. It would configure them with the roaster of the Probatino and the profile for Pyrolysis Target 3. But we also want to look here while we're in the screen at what happens when we roast blends. So let's go ahead and change our roasted item from a bean to a blend. Okay, so we can see that our output section has been updated, and it's telling us pretty much the same, that we're going to need 6 roasts. But what if we post-blend? So what Roastmaster is assuming here is that we're pre-blending, But if we don't pre-blend and we actually roast every bean individually, maybe to a certain roast degree for each one, and then we blend later, Roastmaster can accommodate for that as well. So we just choose post and scroll down, and we can see that Roastmaster has looked at each bean individually and calculated the number of roasts based on their percentage in that blend. And each one is going to have its own surplus left over, and it's kind enough to tell us what those are so that we can possibly put those beans to other uses elsewhere. So let's go ahead and tap Build Roasts. And there we go. And if we look at these, we can see that Roastmaster has indeed assigned our roaster and the profile that we specified. And it has already assigned our data curves here, and that everything is set up and ready for action. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this screencast and gotten some useful information here. And even more, I hope you find the Build Roast by Yield feature useful in your workflow. So check back often for more screencasts on how to get the most out of using Roastmaster.